The Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem says one of the reasons he and his colleagues halted these interest rate increases was they were worried about the impact on Canadians who've piled up so much debt. Let's get a frontline perspective here. We'll focus on Canadian consumer insolvencies and how people can avoid that drastic option. Let's bring in Michelle Statz, a licensed insolvency trustee at Bromwich and Smith. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Andrew.
Can you update us? Have we seen, are the figures showing an increase in consumer insolvencies?
Yes, Andrew. Actually, the Office of the Superintendent of Bankruptcy just released their statistics for the end of December, the end of 2022. And we do see that the volume of insolvencies in the year 2022 has increased from 2021 by about 11.2%. So the volumes of insolvency are on the rise, and that appears to be up across the country and in every province.
Are the levels high, though? Are they high enough to signal a serious problem?
I think that they're not quite as high as what they were pre-pandemic. The numbers for the last quarter in 2022 are the highest we've actually seen since the first quarter of 2020, just prior to the pandemic. So there seems to be a trend that they are rising.
Right. So we're getting back towards pre-pandemic levels. You have some advice here. The budget, it's an important tool. Spot warning signs, not paying your bills on time, for example, and consumer proposals and bankruptcies you should see as a last resort option. Start off with the budget, though. A lot of us, including me, have real trouble with actually establishing a budget.
Right. And I think what's missed is it's kind of an ongoing work in progress, right? The budget is always something that should be top of mind and reviewed regularly. And it's really a matter of having a clear picture of where you sit in terms of what's your income coming in, what are your expenses, what are your costs, and then tracking your spending. You want to make sure that you're not spending money unnecessarily. And then, of course, if you don't have enough to go around, where can you reduce? Because, of course, you don't want to be relying on credit either to supplement your income and to cover those expenses. You also, when you're factoring in your cost of living, you want to look at the level of your debt. You know, you want to have that list of your debts. You want to know what each one totals, what the interest rates are, what your monthly obligations are, so you can factor that into the budget and also make a plan to be sure that you're paying it down, that it's going somewhere.
I want to jump to that third point. Just remind us what a consumer proposal is and how it's a less drastic step than a bankruptcy, isn't it?
It is. So, you know, some people will get to this point in their budget and just be overwhelmed, right? Maybe it's not working out and they need to look at other options. They're not making headway with their debt. And so, you know, the Bankruptcy and Insolvency Act legislation provides formal options for people. And sometimes you don't realize that bankruptcy is not necessarily the only option. Consumer proposals are on the rise. We see the majority of people filing proposals over bankruptcies, which are basically legislated debt settlement arrangements. So you get the same kind of protections that you would with a bankruptcy. You get the interest relief, but basically you can feel good because you're paying something back. Maybe you can't pay it all, but this is a way of consolidating, paying back through a licensed insolvency trustee and being able to get that fresh start.
I know things get complex when it comes to real estate. So if I'm making one of these proposals, what's the difference between the situation if I'm a renter or a homeowner? Can you just walk through that?
Sure. Well, the options, you know, the consumer proposal option is for your unsecured creditors. So whether you're a homeowner or not, if you're a homeowner, you likely have a mortgage, which is a secured debt. So the secured debts are not affected by a consumer proposal, right? You still want to make your mortgage payment in terms of keeping your home. And so even in a bankruptcy, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose your home. You want to make that payment, ensure you're making your mortgage payment, but you can still do a consumer proposal on your unsecured debt or a bankruptcy and help deal with that debt while still, maintaining your residence.
Just so I have it straight then, so if I do declare bankruptcy or do a proposal, I won't necessarily lose my home.
That's correct. That's correct. And that's one of the myths that are out there, right? And so that's why when you're in this situation, it can be a bit scary to kind of reach out for help because of those myths that are out there. But that's absolutely right.
What's the downside, though? You think that these two options should be a last resort?
They are last resorts, but they're there so that people have some way of dealing with their debt, right? If we didn't have that, people could end up, not getting anywhere with their debt, and it's just not a great way to live, right? So they are last resort options, but they're good options that allow you to start fresh. There is some impact to your credit, but when you're starting fresh, you're kind of being absolved of that debt, so you can start over, have no debt, and there are things you can do proactively to rebuild your debt. And I think that's what people find scary about proposals and bankruptcies as well. Is I have such good credit, I'm going to ruin my credit, but there's always that ability to kind of rebuild and start over if you're proactive about it.
Michelle, can we, just before we let you go, I'm sure all people of all walks of life come into you, but is there a typical demographic group out there you think is overextended?
I wouldn't say so. There's all kinds of different life events that affect people at different stages in their lives. So we do really see a wide variety of people and a wide variety of incomes, right? From the lowest of incomes to the highest of incomes. It's not really discriminating, right? It can affect everybody.
Yeah, that's right.